So this woman's dog in spirit that I was connecting to told me that she follows her mom. And I told her, you got to tell me at least one place that you have followed mom before this reading is over. And sure enough, at the very end of the reading, she told me where she followed mom earlier the same day of our reading and gave me 3 different details about where mom went to, which we are going to go over in this video. My name's Elisa Ace, a spiritual medium. Welcome back to another video. So I like to make videos about the evidence that pets in spirit give me in my pet mediumship readings with their mom and dad. And so that's what we're going to do today. Today we're going to be talking about a dog in spirit named Tippy, a very special dog. I will be including pictures of the evidence that Tippy's mom sent to me after the reading was over. And I just want to remind you to look out for spirit orbs in my videos because there are always spirits flying around. So they'll show up in the form of spirit orbs or just spirit matter, which is weird little shapes, but they look see-through and they're flying all around me. You'll definitely see one. Let's get started. So I have now had 2 readings with this dog's mom. So we're going to go over a little bit of the evidence in the first reading and a little bit of the evidence in the second reading. And by the way, this dog's name is Tippy. So one of the things that Tippy, the dog in spirit, told me was that she was in a competition. And that is an understatement because Tippy has actually been featured on ESPN. And she was also the AGCH Agility Grand Champion. And she placed 5th in finals at the AKC Invitational. So pretty impressive dog here. Okay, so one of the other things that she told me right at the beginning of the reading was the word parliament. And obviously, well, I shouldn't say obviously, but what that makes me think of is royalty. I had no idea what she could mean by that. So I asked my client, her mom, parliament, royalty, does that mean anything? And she said, what it makes me think of immediately was that Queen Elizabeth had between 30 and 40 corgis in her lifetime. And I didn't know that. By the way, Tippy is also a corgi. So that was news to me. I don't know if I should have known that. I guess I don't know all that much about royalty. I don't know why Tippy told me that. I just find it interesting that she would bring up, you know, a royal queen who has had many, many, many corgis. And it was also interesting that my client did happen to know that information. She knew what parliament meant. So another thing that Tippy told me was that her mom was a teacher. And so when I asked her, she said yes. She teaches agility to other people's pets and to their owners. So she teaches them what she does, basically, teaches them how to do the agility courses and compete, essentially. Tippy also told me that she loved to swim, that she had been to the snow. I mentioned in my last video that this is a common thing that pets in spirit, dogs in spirit in particular, bring up quite a bit. So it seems to me that it's a big deal when they get to go in nature, whether that be the beach or to the snow or to the forest or just to the park. They really love outings. And Tippy has an amazing pool, had an amazing pool at her house. Her mom has this really big special pool. And also I will be including pictures. Did I already say that? I'll be including pictures of the evidence. I did say that. And so I'll put a picture here of her in the swimming pool. So she loved to swim. Tippy also told me that her mom has something that she keeps on her person or that she wears that's connected to Tippy or her remains. And so when I asked her, she said, yes, I have a few things, but the one that's most special to me is a ring. So she had a ring designed with Tippy's ashes in it with a paw, and I will add a picture of that here. So that's what Tippy was acknowledging, that she's aware that her mom has this ring. Tippy also brought up a cherry tree, which in fact my client does have this big, beautiful cherry tree, which I will show a picture of here. So there used to be an oak there that belonged to her mother. And when her mother passed away, the oak tree also died. And so in honor of her mom, she planted this cherry tree, which she still has. And so there's a special connection to her mom as well, who is also in spirit. So that was pretty cool that Tippy brought that up. So Tippy also told me the words rise and shine. I didn't know what that could mean, so I asked my client, and immediately she said, I have a friend who has 2 dogs and their names are Rise and Shine. They are dogs that are cloned, actually, which is even more interesting. And then she's also affiliated with an association that's called Rise and Shine, so it was kind of like a double meaning. Double meanings come up in the readings all the time. Then she brought up her pills. Or she said she brought up pills. And so when I asked her, she said, I didn't give her pills, but I give all my dogs special supplements, but I do keep them in pill containers. You know, the ones that say Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And by the way, my client has several dogs because she does shows and competitions and so forth. And she said that she kept Tippy's pill container. She doesn't, she hasn't gotten rid of it yet, but she never opens it, but she just opened it for the first time a couple of days before our reading. And I think that's why Tippy was bringing that up. Tippy also told me that somebody drew her, and I will include a picture of that here. That is a common one that pets do tell me sometimes. She brought up a candle, and her mom has a special candle that has like a little corgi figurine on top of the candle. And more importantly, that candle is on Tippy's altar. So they do often bring up things that are sitting on their altar, and I'll include a picture. She also brought up a plush stuffy, and I'll include a picture of that as well. Tippy's mom told me that there was one stuffy in particular that was very important to her, and it went with them when they would travel. And so she took that stuffed animal with her everywhere because it was her favorite. Tippy also told me the word prizes, and sure enough, she won many, many prizes, and I will show a picture of that here. She also brought up several names. It's very common for people and pets in spirit to give me names. So she gave me the name of my client's best friend when she was younger for many, many years. And then she also gave me the name of her current closest friend. And she also works in the same field as her. So she said that person's very important to her, so she could totally understand why she would bring up that name. And then a friend of hers, a male friend of hers who is in spirit, also stepped forward in the reading. This was the father of 2 daughters that my client taught in the arena of dog training. So he also stepped forward. And then an additional pet of hers in spirit stepped forward, a dog, and told me what breed he was, and then told me the word mouse. And she said that was his nickname. They called him Mouse. And then her first ever dog from childhood stepped forward, giving me her name. And then a horse that she had that's in spirit also stepped forward, giving me her name. Her father in spirit also stepped forward in the first reading, giving me his name. Another thing that Tippy told me was that her mom dressed her alike with somebody else. And then she sent me a picture, which I will put here, of her and another one of her dogs. And they're in matching therapy coats and matching leashes. And so another thing that she told me was that her mom built something for her. So in addition to like all the agility equipment that she would climb on and that kind of thing, she also built her a fence. So they put up fencing around their property. She said the reason why they built the fence was for the dogs, to keep them safe. And then Tippy told me sign. And I said, do you have some kind of sign up on your fence? And she said, yes, we have a corgi crossing sign, and I'll put a picture of that right here. Tippy also told me that they live in the country, like on the outskirts of town. And she also brought up traveling, and they did travel quite a bit in the car, in an RV, for shows and competitions. So like I told you at the beginning of the reading, that Tippy, the dog in spirit, told me that she follows her mom. And I said, you got to tell me, please, 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 at least one place that you have followed your mom, or a place that you're going to follow your mom before the reading is over. And so sure enough, right at the end of the reading, Tippy referenced a conversation about, and this was a few days before 4th of July, by the way. And so Tippy referenced a conversation that her mom had about 4th of July and her not being too stoked about 4th of July. And so when I asked her, she said, yes, I had a brief conversation today, earlier before our reading at the vet, actually, with the receptionist in the lobby. And somebody said something about the 4th, and I said like, not looking forward to it, because obviously it really, really scares the dogs, the fireworks. And so the next thing that Tippy told me was brace. And then her mom, my client, said, that's why I was at the vet, to fit my other dog for a brace. And then the next thing Tippy told me was paramount. And her mom said, while I was in the lobby, I was on my phone scrolling through my emails, and I was reading the ones from Paramount Plus, because they were messaging her saying that she owes money or something. And she was kind of like, is this real, or is this from a scammer or what? But the point is, Tippy told me about a conversation she had at the vet, about her dog getting a brace, and about her mom going through the emails from Paramount Plus. And this was Tippy's way of showing her mom, I'm with you. I see everything going on in your life. I'm still connected to you. And this is why people too, but especially pets, will often bring up things happening recently in their mom or dad's life. And sometimes it's really, really simple stuff. A lot of times it's really, really simple stuff. They'll tell me what you just bought at the store, or who just came over, or just little things like that, where you just went, stuff like that. Just to show my clients that they are with their mom or dad. This is not all of the evidence that Tippy gave me. I just wanted to kind of highlight specific pieces of evidence, especially ones that I can show pictures of that my client has sent me. And also, I just want to let you know that I don't share the personal and intimate messages from people in Pets in Spirit. I keep that private. So I just wanted to make it a point to tell you that this is what these videos are about. showing you the evidence that these pets in spirit give me that show their mom or dad that they're with them, that they're still connected with them. Because like I've said in many of my videos, if you're a subscriber, there really is no such thing as death. It's just transition back to our original body, back to our spirit body. I know that it's not the same. Obviously, the loss of their physical presence is a big deal. However, please remember that what you really loved was their spirit, their essence inside of their physical body. They were not their body. And the essence and the spirit and the soul inside of their body, inside of the body that they left behind, is eternal. Their soul is eternal. It will last forever. So you can still have a different, albeit a very different kind of relationship, but you still can have a spiritual relationship with your pet in spirit. I have a different video, which I will link at the top at the end, which goes over how to connect to your pet in spirit through your heart center, which is very powerful, and you will see why in that video. There are several things that you can do to keep the connection alive with your pet. And I just want to remind you that anytime you want to connect to them, they will be there. And whether you're aware of it or not, they are around you. They can come and go as they please because they are free and they are no longer bound by a physical body. I have countless clients and viewers of my YouTube channel who have put it in the comments, all of the many paranormal experiences that they have had with their pets after they crossed over. I made an entire video, a slideshow video of all like 80 of the best comments. I went through spending like 8 hours going through all the comments on my videos, and I screenshotted 80 of the best ones that tell amazing paranormal experiences that they had with their pets when they crossed over. And I can link that video as well at the top of the screen at the end of the video, because that shows you that it's not just your neighbor that had that crazy experience with their dog when they crossed over. It's so many people. Unfortunately, there are other people that say, I haven't seen anything, I haven't experienced anything. That doesn't say anything about you. The only thing it might say is maybe a lack of sensitivity to the spirit world, but that can all be changed with meditation and with mindfulness and becoming and strengthening your psychic skills and your psychic awareness. All of that can be changed and strengthened with practice, with meditation, and with intention. So whether you're aware of it or not, your family and your pets in spirit are around you. They're still involved in your life. They are still invested in your life. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave me a comment and let me know how you like it. Let me know if you want to see more of these. Make sure to follow me on my Facebook mediumship page, which will be linked at the pinned comment in the top of the comments below, because I put a lot of other different content on that page as well. And that's also where you can message me if you would like to schedule a mediumship reading with me to connect to a person or a pet in spirit, which is done over video call. Thanks again for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.